protocol, professional colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
For want of time, my colleague here has prepared this topic in a 41-slide package. And you realize that he was only able to discuss or to speak to only about 10 of those slides. So definitely I'm sure that the conference committee will make the slides available, and you can see that it's a very enriching, thorough, and well-researched presentation. So I'm just going to do a brief executive review of what is said, and I'm going to just be making a lot of fact-find examples as to the relevance of this topic as it is for us today, especially in Nigeria. I sat through this conference yesterday and I realized that all the speakers were trying to avoid mentioning what we are facing or going through in Nigeria as of today. When this topic was chosen, I want to believe that most of us never knew that Nigeria would get to where it is today. As professional accountants, while we were preparing our budget, personal, corporate, in November, December last year, I'm sure none of us ever knew that in January, February, we'll be using Naira to buy Naira. And that is the thrust of the topic, and that is what we talked about, the uncertainty of the economy. And in the paper, my colleague has tried, I'm not going to probably go to who is the general accountant or who is the professional accountant. I'm just going to talk about the uncertainty in the economy, what the challenges are, and what the general accountant or professional accountant needs to have as a skill to deal with it. Uncertainty comes in various ways, and one of the ways it comes through economic policies of government. Of course, there are countries that are facing natural disasters, like we have currently in Turkey. But in Nigeria, one of the major things we have is changes in government policies and economic downturns. Where we are today has more to do with government policy. A lot of people have argued that redesigning the Naira is not a bad policy, cashless policy is not a bad policy, but this is where we find ourselves. On Sunday, I drove out with my family to get some things. We needed pizza and some other stuff. We didn't have cash. The outlets POS were not working. Our transfers were not going. Transfer is not going, it's not the correct English, but it is an established language now in Nigeria. Now, let's look at the implication of that. One, consumer yearnings were not met. The businesses lost sales. Even if I go back there and buy 10 pizzas today, it will not make up for the pizza I did not buy on Sunday. So one of the challenges of what we're talking about is loss of income, either to the individual, to the company, and once the companies are not making money, what happens to the government? The government too loses money because it is from the sales of all these corporate entities that the government is going to get its taxes. So those are some of the things that have been contained in the paper. The challenges that we face when we have uncertainty in the economy. As at today, most people, if I ask everybody to check your pockets now, I'm not sure we're going to have 100,000 in all the policies in this all combined. For about 5 days, and we have banks whose networks have not been going again, I said, in the Nigerian English. So, once that is here, as professional accountants, what are the challenges that we face? One, we become, our customers or our clients now look upon us as miracle workers. We now need to up our game. We need to have value addition to them. When the time comes for them to do their filings, you need to, how do you now report that probably throughout the month of January and February, we didn't know when it would stop. The company could not produce because we are looking for this, we are looking for fuel. The company could not do its cash projections very well because we are looking for cash. Now, these are some of the things as professional accountants we look for to envisage now as we go along, as services we need to render to our clients when the time comes. He talked about disruptive technology. Last year, the government appointed MTN and other companies as direct bank agents. MTN has a system, technology, that have been designed to calculate the VAT from its client and remit to government. Now, government says, don't give them the VAT, withhold the VAT, and remit to us. It is not chicken change that MTN is going to spend to adjust its technology. I was talking to my colleague yesterday, and I realized that there was no point in that circular or in that policy that stated what government is going to do for this company to be able to effectively discharge this duty. So these are some of the things, of the challenges as accountants, because all these things fall on the table of the professional accountant. Unfortunately, we are in an era of Japa syndrome. One of the challenges we have with banks right now is that most of the IT guys have gone out. I was an MD of a new microfinance bank called me and said, Gbenga, please get us an IT guy to man our internet facility because we've been down for about 4 days. I won't mind to pay the guy my own salary. And that's why he now talked about talent funds and talent preservation. If you have a staff now, if the staff is good, you need to go an extra mile to retain that staff. Because what we have, like my people who always say in Yoruba land, Erulani Adeyo. There is unemployment in the land, but what we have are people, not skills. So one, you need to keep your staff, and two, you need to improve your own knowledge in area of technology, in soft skills, and he talked about diversification. Now, one joke that is common in the social media. Why do we still keep sending our children to the university for 5, 6, 4, 7 years, only for them to come out and be selling shoes and bags? If they know they are going to be selling shoes and bags, immediately after secondary school, please give them money and let them start selling shoes and bags. That is where we are today. So what matters now is the soft skills that you are able to bring on board, even to be able to meet the changing challenges in the economy as a professional accountant. It is not about debit and credit. People need IT skills. People need accountants that are versatile, that are innovative, that are problem solvers, solution providers. It is no longer a case of client sourcing and just going there and sending them in. And again, one of the challenges of this uncertain economy is the reign or the death of professionalism. Now, it is a case of demand and supply. If we continue this way, and already some of our people are complaining, one of the challenges we're going to have is that we will sell out our own income. When a firm goes to a company and said, okay, this is what you want me to do for you, I will charge you 2 million naira. And we have companies, firms that have not even had a client in the last 1 year. If they call them, they will say, okay, bring 200,000, bring 300,000. It is a death of professionalism that some of these challenges also will bring on us. So ladies and gentlemen, I have only 10 minutes to look back. Like I said, the slide, you have got one slide in paper. I want to challenge all of us to please go through it, because apart from the general review of the uncertainties and the skills that we need to have that have been presented in the paper also went ahead to do a Nigerian economy analysis of where we are and what we need to do as professional accountants. Finally, young accountants here, ICAN has done a lot in trying to internationalize the ICAN brand and the certificate. A lot of young men come to me and said, what do you feel? Should I japa or should I stay? Do what is good for you. But one thing is clear. The ICAN certificate is hope. Right, like during the village meeting, the president and the council was trying to tell us all the MOUs and the pathways that ICAN is having with other PAOs across the globe. The Institute of Canada of England and Wales, they're having the MOU with India, we have Australia is on the pipeline and everything. So you need to get information also. It is key for you to have information for you to be able to survive in this uncertain economy. And finally, never despise the days of little beginnings. Don't give up. The economy might be tough, it might be difficult, but it is the survival of the fittest. One thing that is clear is that the tougher the economy, the higher the demand for finance professionals and professional services. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omidiji. We have had it all, and we've been given another name to our appellation, not only professional accountant, but thoroughbred professional accountant. So thoroughbred professional accountants, let's put our hands together. Thank you so much. The paper presenter in economy, and indeed in a disruptive economy. He also mentioned the opportunities that present itself in this uncertainty. So as thoroughbred professional accountants, we must utilize or seize the opportunity embedded within the uncertainties. There are skills required, and which ICAN is trying its best to fill in those skills. Capacity development is key. So just as both the discussants and the lead paper presenter have said, that we must upskill, and in upskilling you need to build capacity. The one word that the discussant added, he said people all over the world are looking at professional accountants as miracle workers. And I'm praying for all of us that God will imbue you with that miracles that will be a problem solver. I said, God will work miracles through you. Amen. From now on, see yourself as God working through you. On this note, let me hand over the mic to the compere.
Please, can we put our hands together for the chairman? It's a beautiful way to start the day, and you can see from the speaker and the discussant, crowned by the chairman, I'm sure through us, there will be great transformation. So without wasting our time, we quickly want to take questions, but because of want of time, I may not exceed 3-4. So from this angle, do we have any question? My council member number 1. Mrs. Hakim Olade, number 2. Those at the back flat, are we together? Number 3, ma'am. On this road, do we have any? Okay, thank you very much. The 3 of us, please, can we come?
Professional colleagues, good morning. The chairman and the speaker, the paper presenter, sponsor. The paper you presented was well presented, and thank you. Okay, my name is Tajuddin Olayinka, FCA, membership number 9972. I'm a council member. So I said the paper was well presented. Indeed, for a small practice and a professional accountant, there's so much opportunities, as you have said, in this area. In fact, it was the platform for the survival of small practice because of the challenges around traditional practice. So the question I'm asking now is, what roadmap, what should a small practice do immediately to be able to acquire the skill, take advantage of the opportunity, particularly in digital area, so that they can be able to expand their practice and be able to have a sustainable practice in the long run. Thank you.
Good morning. I would like to start by the already established protocol. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Osand. My name is Bukola Morayo Akumoladu, FCA 5947. 2 things quickly. There seems to be, well, there's not seems to be, there is a huge gap, knowledge gap between the accountants, the traditional accountants, and the technology environment. It's not that some of us do not know what we need to do, but bridging the gap between both seems to be a big challenge. And I know that they say 3 things make you a professional. If one of them is missing, you're not a professional. The first one is education. The second one is what? Somebody saying experience. The third one is experience. Examination, which gets you the certificate. Many people have the certificate after education and examination, but they lack the experience. And you cannot give what you don't have. So we need to have a way to bridge it, make sure that we do not just have the certificate to be an accountant, but we also must be prepared for the technological aspect of it. Those of us who trained over 30 years ago are struggling. Yes, we're struggling to keep up with the trend. While you try to train the younger ones, you train them at your own period because they soon leave you. And you know that no matter how much you pretend to be young, you can only pretend you're not there, and the rate of assimilation is actually going down. So how can you help those of my elders? Thank you very much.
Good morning. I will stand on the existing protocol. My name is Fumi Adeniran, ACA MB 055291. Okay, based on I want to thank you, the presenter, who benefited from your discussion. But based on the charges on our charges, the bigger firm and the small firms, is there anything that ICAN can do to bridge the gap so that the small firms will not be taking any amount from, if there is a kind of a collaboration between the bigger firms and the smaller firms to bridge that gap so that the standard will maintain the standard. Thank you.
I'll ask you to be muted. The first on the online is Tina Babatomwe. Please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
I'm unmuted and speaking.
So we can hear you now. 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I want to say good morning. My name is Tina Babatope, as they have said, membership number 23069. I want to stand on the well-established existing protocol, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Yemi Sonmi, FCFCTI, for that presentation. But I want to pick my contribution. I have one contribution, and I have a question, and I'll make it fast. Under challenges that you mentioned, ethics was stated. And I discovered that yesterday, the presenter during the lead paper also mentioned and made emphasis on ethics. So ethics has been reoccurring in all presentations, which means it shows a very vital code of conduct that members should follow. But this shouldn't have been a challenge really if our members are not cutting corners, because they are doing that in giving problems to many people that are doing it. So, and this makes the institute to come after them. The professional practice monitoring committee are facing a lot of problem on this, where they have rules and regulations on how you are to put your names as audit firm that you want to get licensed for, and they still find wrong names given. They know what they're supposed to do, but they are not doing the right thing. So if they are doing right thing, the institute will not bother to come after them. The institute will be addressed, and they will also be addressed. And I pray that this will be so. Now to my question. My question now is, we have been mentioning about uncertainty in many years past, and uncertainty is still occurring. Will there ever be a certain economy? If yes, what period will this be?
Thank you very much.
Opportunities mentioned.
Thank you very much.
Also bring a certain economy for us.
Much.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
We appreciate you. Mr. Femi Fashino, you have the floor, please.
My name is Felix Fashino, ACA, membership number 057145. I want to quickly make allusion to the issue of uncertain economy. Actually, we could have looked at it as a risky economy or unpredictable economy like ours in Nigeria. Now, my question is, we should start to think of a Nigerian-based approach in solving our unpredictable, risky, and uncertain economy. I was in the deliberation where a professor was making his experience known that as a professor of accounting, he was given a position of honorary commissioner in the state, and he did well in the first half of that governance. But while they were going into election, the executive governor told him, he said, Professor so and so, I know you are an erudite professor in this regard. Because we are approaching election, and we have to use professional way to achieve our goal. We need money. If you can't think the dent your image, then please resign. That was done in-house, and the professor resigned, and another ACA possibly took over, and money was released. That election was won. Let us think as a professional body, research on Nigerian approach, Nigerian-based approach. Look at what is going on in CBN. On systematic way of addressing systematic problems. Let's look for a Nigerian-based approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hand over to the speaker to do justice.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all those thought-provoking questions and the wonderful contributions that have added to the quality of the paper that has been presented today. I want to take the question of the third person who asked the question on standardization of rates between the small and medium practices and the big firms by ICAN. My response, even though I'm a member of the Governing Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, my response are solely mine and not that of the Institute. Now, the Institute has given us a guide on the rate to charge our clients. Those rates that you have there, they are just guides. It behoves on you to know the scope of the engagement that you have and the amount to charge as a service, to charge for that particular service. Like I told us during my paper presentation, we do not know what we are carrying. The value that you are carrying as a professional accountant is huge, and as such, you need to present yourself as such when you are discussing with clients. As a small practice firm, the only reason why you will settle for less is the fact that your client even knows more than you. So, but when your client has a problem and comes to you and you have a solution, like the paper discussant said, that you should be a problem solver, and you have a solution to that problem, and you have the good communication skill to be able to let the client know that you have the solution to the problem, trust me, you will be able to command the appropriate rate from such clients. So that answers that. Thank you. Then to my senior and highly revered council member, Mr. Tajuddin Olayinka, FCA, who said, what are the roadmaps for small and medium practice firms to expand their practice in the area, in this uncertain economy and the era of disruptive technology? The answer to this question is very simple, and they can be found in the paper that was presented. Number one, as small and medium service firms, for us to be able to navigate through in an uncertain economy, identify your areas of strength. Accounting practice is not all about audits. Accounting practice has different facets. So, as a professional, thoroughbred professional accountant, you need to diversify your services. So once you diversify your services, you will be able to command respect in that area and be able to attract clients in that area. Trust me, there are areas when as a small firm, the big four will compete with you. And I'm talking about that with authority, because I've been in that shoe, and I can tell you authoritatively that as a small firm, there are certain services where the big firm will find you as a very big competitor. Number two is networking. To command clients is not a function of you just paste. We are restricted from advertising our service. Even when you want to put your name, there is a defined way in which you have to place, the banner or signboard there. So that tells you that you cannot command walking clients, because, for people that are using glasses like me, I might not even see the signpost or whatever thing you have put there. But through networking, you will be able, when you go out, you'll be able to let them know what you do and the fact that you have what it takes to give them some services in your area of competence. Also, we are not allowed to market, but you can market in subtle ways. How do you market? You sell yourself. You understand? You sell yourself, and through that, you are able to command clients. And again, for us small clients, small practice firms, You see, this is an era to collaborate with other smaller practice firms. You know, for a number of our people that are Christian faithfuls, there's this major theme when we're in church and we are praying. We say, I shall be the head and not the what? Above always and not beneath, right? Now, I ask you a question. Will you rather be the head of a rat or the tail of an elephant? So that poses the question to us. You understand? You know, so what we are saying here is that it is an era to start collaborating. Not that, oh, yes, I'm the principal partner of Yemi Sani & Co. If Yemi Sani & Co. total revenue in a year is just 100 million, but if I now collaborate with Gbenga Omidiji, we can have 1 billion. And Gbenga Omidiji is the managing partner of the firm. Who cares? Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be, it must be mine, No. Collaboration is key. Then also, as small practice firms, there is a need for us to invest in technology. It is very critical for us to navigate through this era of uncertain economy and destructive technology. Also, we need to continuously improve ourselves. And you're already doing that by attending this seminar. Let us give ourselves a round of applause. And lastly, it's a challenge, but it's something that we still have to do. It's a challenge for us in this country. You will find out that some of the hands that you have might not be able to take you to the promised land, right? Because you are moving into a different era, there might be a need for you to hire new talent. But we all know that new talent is a challenge. So with all this that I've stated, I can tell you that as a small practice firm, this will be a roadmap for you to navigate in this uncertain economy. Then Mrs. Akim Olado mentioned about the knowledge gap between the traditional accountant and the technology accountant. The solution to that is even found in what I just said now about the fact that as a person, if you want to be relevant and you want your firm to be vibrant, you need to know that this is the Gen Z era and you need to continuously improve yourself. I think that answers all the questions. I hope that meets all the rest. Okay, the discussant would like to add one or two things to that. Thank you.
Yes, one of the questions raised online had to do with ethics and why we still find some chartered accountants culpable of undercutting and unprofessional activities. The simple response to that is in every 12. So there is nothing you can do about that one. There is definitely nothing you can do about that one. The only thing that ICAN as an institute can do is to ensure that people go through the disciplinary process once they are caught, found out, or reported. One thing I need to let people know is that the institute is not going to act on rumor. They must have substantiated reports or incidences before the institute can take an action. Also, bridging the gap or bridging the technology gap. I can understand with some of our senior colleagues who, like Dr. Yemi Sani said, who qualified in the era of double stars, pay one, pay all. As a young accountant, you have no excuse. It's only accounting I studied now. I didn't study computer engineering. But you spend 8 hours of your time on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. YouTube is a learning classroom. There is nothing on how you want to learn that is not on YouTube and other educational platforms. So please, this phone we have in our hand is the greatest tutor that technology has given you. So you probably don't have an excuse again. All you need to do, if to be purposeful in what you want to do, you want to gain knowledge, go to YouTube and you will have that knowledge. And finally, will there ever be a certain economy? We talked about uncertainty, and uncertainty. Let me say this personally. There will always be uncertainty. The difference will be the magnitude and the predictability. The difference will be the causes. Is it natural or is it human? In Nigeria, we are lucky. We hardly have natural disasters. Ask people in Turkey, ask people in China, ask people in all these things. We all know what our own problem is. So that's just it. There will never be a certain economy, but when you go to the developed world, politicians and presidential candidates will be telling you that if you elect me, the GDP will move from 5 to 10. These are the policies I'm going to put in place to ensure this. We will tax the rich. We will do tax savings for the poor. We will do this. But in Nigeria, what do we do in our campaign grant? We dance. That's all. So those are some of the differences here. Then finally, let me say this. The Yorubas will say, everywhere Latin Kenya. There is no same climate. As human beings, no one will willingly obey the law if he knows he can get away with it. So the difference between those same clients we talk about and our environment here is, sorry, when we went to the World Congress of Accountants, you were with us. One of our colleagues forgot our phone, very costly phone, at one launch in Dubai. And when we reported, they said, if we come back there next year, that phone will be there. Because the people there know that if somebody steals that phone and is caught, my God. So that is the difference between the standard client and our environment here that makes our own uncertainty so disruptive, so unpredictable. Just like that man has said, that risky, unpredictable, and uncertainty. So please, maybe one day we'll get there where we'll have a standard client that we have as a today.
Thank you very much to our speakers, the speaker, the discussant, and the chairman of session. A beautiful way to start the Day 3 program. In our usual tradition, we do appreciate our paper presenters and the chairman of session. And let me start with the discussant. Permit me to invite Mr. Toluwase Ojo as he make presentation to Elder Gbenga Omidiji, FCA. A round of applause for him as they come.
Elder, you really did a good job in reviewing the papers, and your contributions are succinct and top-notch. Thank you very much. So, on behalf of the organizers of the 17th Western Zonal Accountants Conference of Register of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, I give you this special recognition in honor of Elder Gbenga Omidiji FCA for your contributions, support, and commitment towards the success of the Western Zonal Accountants Conference, as well as your selfless services to our great institute. Today, 8th February 2023. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for them. Thank you very much, Dr. Omidiji. To invite a member of the Governing Council of our institute, Mr. Jamiu Olakison, as he makes a presentation to our speaker, Dr. Yemi Sonny. A round of applause for them as he comes.
Very much for the beautiful presentation. I'm sure the members here present benefited immensely from that powerful presentation you made. On behalf of the Western Zonal Western Zonal, 17th Western Zonal Accountants Conference, for the wonderful work you've done, I present you with this plaque in recognition of the fantastic presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And to make presentation to our chairman of session, permit me to invite Dr. Shiri Olanrewaju as a make presentation to our chairman of session. Please a round of applause for them as they come forward.
In recognition, in honor of Mr. Olushola Shokeno for the contribution and support at this session. Thank you for what you are doing for our great institute. Congratulations.